Question.
Stuart,
Yes.
can you speak about moving from a life of living in your head to living from guidance?
I speak about that just about every time I'm in class.
I know.
Look, you know, from the moment we're born, practically, we are trained and conditioned to spend our time in our heads, to think things out, to figure things out, to get rational answers to things. Our parents train us that way. Certainly, everything from elementary school right up to PhD trains us that way. So the whole energy of life, you understand, from the moment we're born, evolves around what we can figure out in our heads. And this is, a very big problem because the mind, no matter how expansive it is, no matter what the size of the IQ, you understand, it's like a grain of sand on a beach when you compare it to energy in the cosmos. So instead of relying on a constant deferring to brain and rational understanding and all that, we have to develop inside ourselves a system that will not understand the universe, because it's impossible to understand the universe, but to become a living expression of God's energy in the world. That universal principle, that energy that emanates, outside of time and space, that creates everything. That energy can flow through us because we are no longer obstructing it, by staying in our minds, by building all these kind of delusions that go on in the human brain, by, creating some alternate type of reality that we live in, that nobody else can possibly live in. But to build a system inside, which is at the base and the essence of this meditation, that allows us to have the inner strength so that all that creativity can flow through us. So all that energy, which is infinite in the universe, has a vehicle on the earth in which it can manifest itself. It manifests itself anyway, because everything in the world is a manifestation of God's energy. What's missing is our consciousness. So we're trying to develop a system inside that allows us to live in the world consciously, allows us to get free of the one person who keeps us from doing it, and that's ourselves. Doing that, it completely transforms your life. It's no longer me versus them, and it's no longer giving yourself profound headaches because you can't figure out what the hell this thing is all about that we live in. It's living. It's simply living in it, being one with it, being part of it, deferring to it, embracing it, because we have the inner strength and the capacity to allow that creative force of energy to flow through us. And then it creates the world around us. It'll help us in our job. It'll help us relate better to family members. It'll help us to, in relationships and marriages. And it helps in everything because we're no longer stuck in our brain trying to, figure out what it's all about or trying to change people where they can't be changed. So it's an acceptance of life. And it's to be, it is not, you understand, to know better, but to become, to be one with energy as it manifests. As I've said many times, each and every one of us lives literally at the center of creation. It's not that Genesis took place 1,000,000 years ago. Genesis is taking place every single moment. The earth, life is recreating itself. What's missing is our consciousness. What's missing is the fact that we create an alternate reality that we all live in. That reality dictates how we choose, what we do, what we think, and it's always a little askew. It never is harmonious, and it never allows us to fully embrace life. And I think what better thing is, to embrace the people you love, really embrace them and to let them be. And simply just let them be. To allow everything in life to be one's teacher. I couldn't think of a better way to live. Certainly has made my life infinitely richer, infinitely better. It's even enabled me to survive this coronavirus pandemic by finding what to do in the world that can contribute something to life. And I think we all owe this to ourselves. And the incredible thing is, we don't have to go shopping in some, new age supermarket to find what can do this for us. It's all inside. We are born with it. We don't have to go read every book in a library to discover what this is. It's all inside every single one of us. All we have to do is learn to master it. And what does that mean? It means all we have to do is get past ourselves. And this meditation is 100% about this, because this enables one to work out their karma on this planet. It enables oneself to connect with God, spirit, energy that's infinite in the universe. We become a point in a triangle that unifies life with spirit. Each and every one of us has that capacity if we learn how to do it. And that's why I tell people all the time, we need training. We need to learn how to do these things and how to work on ourselves, have patience with ourselves, evolve and grow inside. I mean, I always compare it to like learning a musical instrument. You sit in a concert hall and somebody is playing a Beethoven piano concerto. And I mean, the beauty, the miracle of being able to produce something, it's 20 years of training that enables the pianist to do it, the first violinist to do it, the conductor
It's
to
2
do
o'clock.
it. It's years and years and years of training, of mastering their craft. I mean, what we're trying to master is infinitely more difficult than, conducting an orchestra. I don't know if I told you this, but I'll never forget. I think I told you that there's this conductor, I won't mention names. He used to be a friend of mine years ago. He used to come in my gallery all the time and we would spend hours talking. And he was very famous, really world famous conductor. And, and when I first met him, he was impossible to be around. He was most erudite. No matter what came up, he had the answer. He wouldn't let you get 3 words in, and he was smarter than the whole world. And he was a brilliant guy, But I used to see him coming down the street, and I would tell Chris, who was working for me, that, Chris, I'm going to disappear for 20 minutes. I don't want to sit with him for 20 minutes. Anyway, we did become good friends, and I used to meet him. He had a home out in California, and I would meet him there. We would spend hours talking, and one day in Miami, he ran a symphony orchestra in Miami, Miami Beach. And, we were sitting on Lincoln Road. I don't know if you know it. It's just that street, the main street in Miami Beach, having some tea, coffee, whatever we were drinking. And he looks at me and he said, Stuart, he said, it can't be music. There has to be something beyond music. And I looked at him. I almost, choked. I said, if I lived to be 1,000,000 years old, I never thought I'd ever hear that come out of your mouth. He said, no, no, Stuart, there has to be something that transcends music. Now, what I'm talking about is a man who spent his life developing his craft, and he was a genius at doing it, conducting the most profound and difficult symphonies, and he looked at me and said, there has to be something beyond music. And I mean, almost brought a tear to my eye. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. So what I'm saying is the craft is essential. It's like Einstein. He got to the point where he just shrugged his shoulders and said, it's got to be God. It can't, there got to be something beyond all this. It has to be God, You develop the craft that takes you there, that gets you to a place where you finally realize that there is an infinite power creating all of manifestation in this world. And that the best we can do is just be a vehicle through which that power flows. The best that conductor could do would be a vehicle through which Beethoven's symphony would flow, Mozart's symphony would flow. So this is what this work is about, building that kind of inner life. And the highest thing of all to flow through us is just life itself. Life itself is the ultimate work of art, and we live right in the middle of it, and we're so detached and cut off from it that we don't see it. There's so much in our brain where this whole thing conversation here started from, We spend so much time in our brain that we're cut off from life. Does anyone have a question? Anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I hope it's clear yes, somebody has a question.
Yeah, it's me, Flora. I have a question to you. When I am meditating with you in quiet, I can just feel pain. It's so difficult. Not so much like in beginning, but when you talk, then I can feel the light and very good energy. Why is that?
Because Flora, there's still pain inside you, and the meditation is telling you that you got to work a little deeper to break it down. And I'll be honest with you, you'll never be completely free of it. There's always pain, a little bit of pain inside people. And we almost need a little bit of pain. I hate to say this, it almost sounds sadistic or masochistic, but we need a little bit of pain to remind us that we have to work deeper, that our job is to continue to go deeper inside ourselves. So, look, dear, just think of yourself 3 months ago, what and look at you now. I mean, you're clear, for God's sake. You're looking right at me, and I see sparkling eyes. I see rosy cheeks. I see you weren't that way 3 months ago. It makes me so grateful to see you. So start being grateful for yourself, okay? What's happened to your life? It's amazing.
But why is when you're talking, then I can feel another energy?
I don't know, because there's another energy. That's why.
Okay.
It's just another energy. Words are also Shakti. They're healing. And when you open and listen, you take your mind off yourself, and maybe that's why you feel less pain. Okay.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, if there are no more questions, then, well, this has been an amazing class. I'm telling you, these classes are like priceless, you know, it's like staggering to me to be doing this on Zoom. And it's been a year now that these classes have been going. It's really staggering to me. But God bless you all. And thank you for being part of it. And hopefully it'll benefit everybody. And just take it a day at a time, a step at a time. Don't, you know, don't put yourself 8 years ahead of where you think you're supposed to be, you know? Take it a day at a time, a step at a time. And it works. It gets you to a very deep place inside and open to spiritual energy, which is the real healing force in life, the spiritual energy. So bless you all. Thank you. And there'll be a meditation on Thursday. And I hopefully I'll see everybody there. Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you,
thank you.
Stuart.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're
God
welcome.
bless you. God bless you.
Same to you. Bye.